Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dollywood recreation. Today, we're in episode 6, again at Timber Canyon, and I thought today would be a good day to work on Dropline. And Dropline is their Freefall tower here. I forget who manufactures this thing. I don't think it's S&S. But yeah, we're going to be working on Dropline, which is going to be really fun because it's themed to kind of the same lumber camp theme that the entirety of Timber Canyon is themed to. So it's going to be a little bit of the same kind of stuff, but it's a little bit of a different vibe going on as we got these logs here for this fence that I made. So yeah, what I've done so far is essentially just make this circle for the platform and then make this fence here that goes around. Let me pause the game so y'all can actually hear me talk. I also went ahead and put in this little restroom building, which is right over here in the jam band area. And there's also this really funny sign that says privy here, which is, you know, a name for an old toilet or something like that back then. I actually had to look that up. I was like, what's a privy? And it's like, oh, interesting. That's funny. Typical Hershon. But yeah, this is a really simple building that I put together. It continues back there, but it's a lot of backstage back there. So once I put the pizza place in right here, that will have a better shape to it, which is, by the way, what the next place over is. And that's why the sign is here, because there is a Lumberjack pizza, which is right there. And I'll do that in this episode too. Another thing that I went ahead and did is did this little photo op right here with the heart and the logs and the Dollywood logo. So that's cool. There's a backstage entrance right there, and then obviously that's where we left off last time. So this time we'll be working on Dropline. I don't know if I'm going to get to Whistle Steampunk Chaser. I always forget the name of this ride. It's kind of stupid. It's so long of a name. Does it even fit? Oh, I was about to say, does it fit? A Whistle Punk Steam Chaser. Okay, that roller coaster. I don't know if we're going to get to that because I explained the problems last time. It's just the stations are huge. And speaking of things being huge, okay, we have Dropline here, right? And to show you how big this actually is and how unrealistic it is, I want you to look at this little base here. Okay, in real life, that's the size of the base. This fence goes right there, right? It doesn't come out this far, it goes right there. So in reality, this pond thing extends all the way out to here. But because it's Planet Coaster 2 and because Frontier tries to screw us with the largeness of everything, that's the platform. Like, I cannot move that anymore because that's the pathway. For some weird reason, the Frontier wants to have this huge area for guests, which is completely unrealistic because they don't need this area at all. So that's what we're gonna have to stick with for the recreation. It's gonna be the one part about Dropline that's gonna be quite annoying because some of the queue buds up to that too. But it's whatever. It also makes the pond look way smaller than it actually is, but whatever. The fountain should also extend way out more into the pond, so that was a part that got messed up. But anyways, we're gonna keep on rolling. We're gonna keep on trucking here. But I just want to let y'all know, like, I am aware that it is bigger, and I can't do anything about it unless we get an update where we can edit the size of that. All right, so that's kind of what I've done, and so the next update, I'll probably start working on the queue and maybe a little bit of the things around the ride to just start making it look good, as well as maybe doing some work on the buildings here. We'll see. But yeah, let's get into the first update here. Okay, so update 2 time. I have some stuff to show you guys, and I guess the elephant in the room here, first of all, is Lumberjack's Pizza, which is the really good pizza place at Dollywood. I believe it is wood-fired pizza, so it's really good, but I'm pretty happy with how this building is turned out. It's very much of this kind of alpine style. It's a very different style than what we've done so far. We had the Victorian style over there in the front entrance, and then this over here there hasn't been a lot of buildings, but they have been just kind of generic, kind of rustic looking buildings. This is the first sort of alpine type building, and you can tell by the big wood columns that are circular, that are meant to resemble like trees and everything like a log cabin would have, and they have these huge like supports that are angled and all this cool stuff, this kind of spiky cut wood log type feel. That's kind of the Alpine feel, and yeah, that's something that this building does really well. But it was so much of a pain to get working, especially like, you know, that's a custom sign. That's all. There's custom images. One of the things that was really annoying is all these wood pieces are differently colored to kind of get this nice palette of color. So yeah, and there's different layers here. It's just, there's so much going on with this building. Not even to mention the crazy angles that it has. But yeah, that's Lumberjack's Pizza. I made this little funny pizza spatula type thing that they have on the wall there. I do not have an interior. I don't think I'm going to do an interior. I'll probably put a shop in there or something to attract people. Maybe even attach these, or restaurant, maybe attach these picnic tables to that. And speaking of those, this is the seating area for Lumberjack's Pizza. Still very much a work in progress. There's a covered area right here. So there's definitely a lot of seating for this area. And what's really cool is they have like these fallen or like cut trees with these lights on them. I need to add more. I think there's a few, you know, around this area that go around here and stuff. But, you know, I'll get to that. But yeah, that's the seating area. I also made this like nice little logo for Lumberjack's Pizza that has all this rope and stuff. That looks really cool. Up here is some just decorations. They're supposed to be like some cans of like food and stuff, which we don't have in the game, so you know, you have to make your own. Honestly, I might try to use the little firework stand. I don't know if that's still a thing. I know in Planko 1 we had this crazy firework stand. No, we don't. I don't think we have the big stand things, do we? No. All right. Anyways, yeah, that's supposed to be like canned food or something, and then there's more details up there. So I guess I can get away with that. It looks okay. But yeah, let's see. Before I get to the thing I want to mention, I want to see if I have anything that I'm missing. Obviously, I have the custom media here from real life, which is really cool because it adds a nice touch to the area as well as recipe and stuff. So I think that's all for that. I do want to get into some things with Dropline I've been messing with. One, I'm gonna just completely ignore this area for right now. It's giving me pains because it's such a small area. This coaster doesn't even work. I explained that in the last episode, Whistlepunk Steam Chaser. So I just kind of blocked it off. I might get to it later, but probably not in this episode. But let's talk about Dropline, and you may notice some things. I used to have the base like this, okay? Like this used to be Dropline, right? And of course, you know, that's way too big. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my own custom base, and I'm gonna make it concrete and everything. And this is the real size of it, by the way, where these fences are. By the way, check out the difference. Isn't that insane? Then I can make these fountains go out a little farther. I can make all the water look better, and it'll be really nice. Now, the one downside to making your little custom foundation here is you don't really have the ability to add the queue line coming up here. You can still do it, but that way guests can't actually access it in Planet Coaster 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little secret underground area. As you can see, there's going to be a hidden queue underground and stuff. The one downside to that, though, is that when you're actually POVing it, when you're riding it, it's going to be weird. So I'll have to figure all this out. But yeah, that's my plan. That's one of the reasons I haven't really started on the queue or anything, because if I'm going to mess with the queue and everything, I want the foundation to be right. So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. That's what I've done. I'm really proud of this Lumberjack building. I'm going to go ahead and start working on Dropline and getting all that fixed. So let's cut to the next update now. Okay, so I've done some things since the last update, and most of it has been some very small stuff, but it's gonna help me in bigger ways. So I added this building. This is like the entrance to Dropline. I can't remember if I had the basic shape of it last time, but I do have like essentially the entrance now. I still need to change the logo a little bit and mess with it a little bit. Looks a little bit different. But this is basically done. It's got this nice little saw with this piece or this log coming through it. It's again like this logging theme because it's in this Timber Canyon area. But yeah, you walk through here. Here's the entrance. The terrain is actually kind of weird here. It goes up for just the cattle pens here. So this is actually higher than the main pathway. So the way they get around that is by putting a stairway here in. Oops. Let's see if I can maneuver around here. In the queue here, it goes up, and then there's like this little employees only, you know, section that loops around to here to get this way. But yeah, so they have this little stairway to go up on the terrain. You come in here, and there's more cattle pens. Or actually, these would be the first cattle pens. But you can do over here, come over here. I think there's a big sign on the wall here. Fun fact about this ride, there is, according to what I've been looking at, only one walkthrough of Dropline's queue, and it's a time-lapse walkthrough. So they just go, and it goes really fast, and so that's my only source for like photos and anything for the queue. So that's what I'm kind of basing everything around, but I think it's turning out fairly well. There's also a Google Street View of just the outside of Dollywood, so I can kind of look at what the outside looks like, but obviously I'm not going to be able to get all the crazy inner details, but I think it's got the general basic shaping. Anyways, the queue wraps around here, does more cattle pens, and then eventually connects out here, and then the exit actually comes out through this side of this green fence and dumps out to this pathway over here. So yeah, that's basically what I've done so far. There's also this little creek that runs through and under these pathways here between this building and then this pathway, and it runs all the way over here, and the exit actually goes over it too. It's actually a really like quaint little nice creek. I am not sure how I'm going to do that. I was thinking about using pools, but honestly the pools are a bit bulky and you can't get them to look right, so I might just custom make it with like the own like water features and everything. The other option was, I guess, to dig it, but then you can't like, I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna work. We'll see what I do in the next update. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm going through. Let's see what else. There are more signs and stuff like on this green wall here that I haven't added yet. Again, it's still a work in progress, but that's basically what I have going. But for more details about this, so I have finally gotten this platform done. Like, this is the final platform for this, because remember, it was way too big, so the ride actually now sits under here, as y'all have seen before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the queue, probably the real queue, exit down, like probably around here, and then hide that exit, and it's just going to be a tunnel that goes under, so guests can actually ride it. But you know, when it drops, don't watch this part of the drop, because it's just going to go right through the floor. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. I haven't done anything over here yet. But yeah, it's been a lot of just like figuring out where everything is, and now I can kind of go through and get all the finishing, or some of the more finishing details down. So yeah, let's go ahead and cut to that next update, and I will see you then. Okay, well, this is going to be the second to last update of this video, and again, I got to a place where I thought was a good update stopping point, and so yeah, here we are. I've basically finished the queue now. I've gotten everything that I think is in there according to photos and walkthroughs and videos, and I'm starting to really enjoy how it's turned out. So let me just kind of go through the queue here and show you what I've done. I don't know if I've shown any of y'all this yet, but you walk under here and you go up. There's a little authorized personnel area there. You got this little area here with some more switchbacks. There's a big sign here I need to add. I think I might put a big screen there or something. There's more signage on this little building here, but other than that, the queue just does some switchbacks here. It loops around, backs right up to the little creek right here, which I got to add the water back in because I was messing with the terrain. And then you get to the main switchbacks right here. They had the attendants have you wait right here for some reason, and then you go to the left here and you come into the entrance. That would be a swinging gate in real life, and then you can board the ride. Then you get off, and you exit this way, go around this building this time, and then exit out all the way out to the pathway here. So, I believe that's correct, and I hope it is, because it's sometimes really hard to see, like, the direction of travel with all the guests and everything, especially with the very limited resources that I have. So, yeah, another thing that I actually kind of got wrong with the other update was I thought this was the loading dock, which it used to be before they had Dropline. There was this building actually existed before Dropline was a thing, and they had themed elements and everything, and there was actually a section here called the loading dock, which it was kind of a picture spot. There were like barrels and crates and everything, but now they just recently, I guess when they opened Dropline, turned it into a Dippin' Dots, and so I gotta redo this kind of area because I just figured it out, because the street view on Google Maps actually shows this as the loading dock, and it wasn't until I watched a walkthrough of Dollywood that they passed by and I said, oh, wait a minute, that's not the loading dock anymore, that's a Dippin' Dots. So I kind of put together this little sign here. I might make this an actual building that people can buy food, because right now, if we have Planko guests, there's not really a lot of food in the park. So yeah, I think I'll do that. And then, yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, I did make this little pier thing that they just have sitting here. There's actually nothing really on it, unless I'm wrong, but I don't think there's anything on that pier. It's just kind of sitting in the water. I did take the water rig out again. I said this already, but I took it out because I've been working on the terrain around here, and you can't really mess with the terrain while the water's in there. So I took it out. As far as the actual queue goes, I actually made it an invisible path that goes underground right here. And so it goes underground and it connects under the ride. As you can see, the stairway is starting to come down. It connects up right here. So yeah, and then the exit I'm just gonna have come right back up, and then like come up right here or something, you know, so that guests can somewhat use the queue and the exit paths, you know, to the best of their ability. So yeah, that's basically this update. I don't think I've done anything more. There are some few things that I need to do, like this wall needs more theming. That's actually kind of like a building for, I'm guessing, maintenance or something. This building right here needs a little bit more detail. I'm going to put all of the foliage and stuff around the ride, and then kind of just round off all the theming for the queue. And that'll be the last update. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. Okay, well, welcome to the final update here for the Dollywood recreation for Dropline. And before I get into the actual finale of Dropline, I do want to mention that I did finish up this coaster layout. It took some finagling with like putting the station underground, and then I'm gonna have to make my own custom station here, but the layout is done, and I'm gonna be able to fit everything in here now. So if y'all were wondering how I was gonna fix that, that's how I did that. And then now back to this seating area here. I thought I'd probably finish this off in a different video, because this one's getting kind of long, and I do want to include all the Dropline stuff in it. So speaking of Dropline, we got a main sign now. It looks way better than the other one I had, and I think it's pretty much similar to the real one. I used the sign actually to make it on top of a billboard, so it's pretty accurate. And right next door is a Dippin' Dots. I can't remember if I mentioned that or not, but there actually is a Dippin' Dots here. And then I added the safety sign here. In front, I changed the entrance a little bit because the newer version of Dropline has different things going on with the entrance. A test seat, there's a height marker, which took... I spent too much time on that height marker, but I'm really proud of it, so... I might upload that to the workshop separately, so if y'all want a height marker, you can have that. There is something on this little pier here. I don't even know what it is. It's just some sort of like steampunk, like aquatic type thing, so I made that there. I don't know what that would be for, but yeah. Coming through the queue now. Let me just kind of scoot in here, because y'all have seen all this, but I did add this little sign here, which is there. Then the queue loops around. You can see the switchbacks now. There's this building here to the right. There's this nice little shed here, or ride operator booth, which I do have a ride operator and ride operator panel in there. and then, you know, you can get on the ride and then exit this way. I have no idea what's going on with this pathway here. I think it connects somewhere up onto the platform here, but throughout all the photos and videos that I've seen, I can't really figure out what it does. So it's a bit interesting. I think that might be for Fast Pass. If you have ridden this ride a lot, maybe comment below what that actually is. I don't actually know. And I don't actually know how you get to it either. From all I know, it just ends right here. So, whatever. I'll figure that out eventually, I guess. You exit, obviously, out this way, over the little creek thing, which I gotta be careful because that's copyright music. But, you know, I have this creek going all the way down here, and I think it just ends in this little mountain or hill right here. But, yeah, there's another safety sign, and then that's basically the area. I do want to address what's going on back here. So this is the actual exit for the actual ride, and let me go into path view. So actually, I'll just show y'all what the guests are gonna do. So walking up the ride, this is all normal. People are gonna walk this way. They're gonna walk up there, just down their queue here, and this is gonna be all normal. You're gonna have to walk through these fences. But as soon as you get here, you're gonna notice you're gonna start going downhill, and then you're gonna have to turn this way. And now you're underground. And this path leads, of course, to the entrance. The queue technically starts where this orange path starts. And then the exit goes all the way up, all the way around, up here, and up to the back side of this building, which then connects back to this exit part. So I tried to make it as usable, like so that the guests can use as much as the queue and the exit as they can, and I think it's working. The only annoying thing is you're gonna start to see like all this pathway back here. So whatever, I think it works. I think it's the best I'm gonna be able to accomplish, and yeah, I'm really happy with how everything has turned out. This will be updated to the workshop. Yeah, I'll do maybe some nice cinematic shots to finish off the video. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.